Welcome to my channel. This is the first episode of my mini-series on Switzerland, and we're gonna start out with one of the most popular cities in the country, Geneva. So sit back, grab a Swiss chocolate, and let's get into it. We all know how popular Switzerland is. Whether it's the stunning landscapes or the efficient public transportation or even just their commitment to neutrality and democracy, there are so many reasons why Switzerland has become such an admired country. But where is this beautiful country located? Well, in a nutshell, it's right smack dab in the middle of Western Europe, bordering France, Germany, Austria, Italy, and of course, by far its tiniest neighbor, microstate, Vatican City. Switzerland is known for four very large and very well-preserved lakes: Lake Geneva, Lake Constance, Lake Maggiore, and Lake Lugano. Of course, I will be visiting all of them in due time. But today we are focusing on Geneva, the fourth largest city in Switzerland and the second largest in terms of metropolitan area. Located in the canton of Geneva, this French-speaking city is a mere 40 minutes away from the French city of Lyon and 2 hours away from Paris. Now historically, Geneva was founded by the Alabridges tribe during the 1st century BC, and despite being fought over many times throughout history, was never successfully conquered due to its strong defenses and strategic location. During the Middle Ages, Geneva became an important hub for trade and banking, eventually becoming a republic in 1815. Today, it is the headquarters of many international organizations, including the United Nations and the International Red Cross. In 1999, it was voted the world's most prosperous city. And according to the United Nations Human Development Index, the city of Geneva has been ranked first in the world for quality of life for 5 years straight. So what makes Geneva so special? Well, there's really no single answer as there are many factors at play. But if I were to try, I would say it's probably the combination of amazing historical architecture, high quality of life, breathtaking views, amazing food and wine, and a multicultural population that makes this place truly special. I visited Geneva in early October 2021 and spent 3 full days exploring the city. I wanted to make this guide not only for those who are planning on visiting, but also to show the city to those who have never been, which I can't believe is most of you, since according to Google Analytics, 93.7% of my viewers have never visited Switzerland. That actually kind of makes me sad. But anyway, enough about that. Let's explore the city of Geneva together. Before we dive into everything I did and saw, I do want to talk about the logistics of the trip itself. I flew into Geneva International Airport, which is conveniently located just outside of the city. While technically it is possible to visit Geneva without a car, I do think having one is ideal as there are many great places to see just outside of the city. If you don't have a rental car, then there is an extensive train and bus network that can get you pretty much anywhere. If you're planning on traveling around Switzerland, you might consider getting a Swiss travel pass. The pass gives unlimited travel on trains, buses, boats, and even some cable cars and funiculars. Depending on where you're coming from, it may be cheaper to fly into Zurich and then take a train to Geneva. You can use this site to check prices. Alright, so now that you know how to get to Geneva, let me tell you what you can do once you get there. As you're probably aware, Switzerland is famous for its chocolates. So of course, I had to go to one of the best places to buy it. So on the first day, I took the metro into town and stopped by the Lindt Home of Chocolate. Here you can find out how Swiss chocolate is made through an interactive exhibit and of course do some shopping. I got my hands on a few pieces before moving on to explore more parts of the city. As you'll notice, the architecture in Geneva is very similar to other European cities with cobblestone streets, Gothic churches, and ornate buildings. What sets this city apart from others though is the stunning backdrop of the Jura Mountains and of course the lake. Walking along the waterfront, I came across the English Garden. This park is a great spot to relax, have a picnic, or just take in the views. It's also a nice spot to people watch. You'll see families, friends, and couples enjoying the outdoors. Just a quick stroll from the English Garden, you'll find the iconic Jet d'Eau, which is like the heart of Geneva. Standing at a whopping 140 feet, it's one of the tallest fountains in the world, and trust me, it's absolutely stunning to see in person. Every December, this beauty gets a festive makeover, transforming into a sparkling Christmas tree fountain that lights up the whole area. I missed out on that magic since I visited in October, but check out this picture. It's a sight that definitely makes you feel the holiday spirit. If you're ever in Geneva during the winter, you've got to see it for yourself. Another landmark you should visit is the St. Peter's Cathedral, one of the most important religious buildings in Geneva. Construction on the cathedral began in 1160 and was completed in 1245. It took another 200 years to finish the interior. To this day, it is still the tallest church in the city at 157 feet. The stained glass windows are simply gorgeous and add a pop of color to the otherwise gray interior. Keep in mind that entry to the cathedral is free, but donations are appreciated. I recommend climbing up to the top of the cathedral for stunning panoramic views of the city. For a different perspective of the city, head on over to the top of the Rochers de Neige for yet another amazing view. This rock formation is located at the end of the old town near the water and provides stunning vistas of the city, the lake and the mountains. There's also a cool sculpture called Adam and Eve. After snapping a few dozen pictures, it was time to go. I headed to the main train station and bought a ticket to Mont-Salvieux. Mont-Salvieux is a mountain just outside of Geneva that can be reached by a funicular. Once at the top, you can enjoy the incredible views of the city and the Alps. The entire ride-up takes about 10 minutes and the price is quite reasonable. I personally prefer the hike up, but it is quite steep, so keep that in mind. The next day I decided to take a day trip to Annecy, France, a charming medieval town about an hour away from Geneva. The town is located in a valley surrounded by mountains and a lake. I highly recommend checking out the canals and the old bridge, which is lined with restaurants and shops. Another must-see is the Château d'Annecy, a castle that dominates the skyline of the town. Originally built in the 12th century, the castle now houses the city's tourist office and museum. After spending a few hours exploring Annecy, I headed back to Geneva to get ready for my last day in the city. Kicking off my morning at the Ariana Museum was such a treat. This place is all about decorative arts and has over 20,000 pieces from all over the globe. Can you believe that? Walking through the galleries, I felt this calm vibe wash over me. Each artwork tells its own story, from intricate tapestries to stunning ceramics. I lost track of time just soaking in the beauty, spending a couple of hours admiring the creativity on display. Honestly, it was such a refreshing way to start the day. If you're into art, you absolutely have to check out the Art Museum of Geneva. Seriously, it's a treasure trove of creativity that spans from medieval times all the way to today. I was totally blown away by the stunning works from legends like Monet, Picasso, and Rodin. Each piece just tells its own story, you know? But here's the kicker. I stumbled upon their Egyptian collection, and wow, it was such a delightful surprise. I didn't expect to see artifacts that transported me back to ancient times. It was impressive, to say the least. I could have spent hours soaking it all in, but alas, time wasn't on my side. If you ever get the chance, don't rush through, there's so much to discover. Next stop, the Reformation Wall. This wall is pretty special. It runs right through the heart of the city and pays tribute to John Calvin, who played a major role in the Protestant Reformation. You'll find some impressive statues of other significant figures from Geneva's history, too. It's like walking through a living history book, and honestly, the vibe is just amazing. After soaking in all that history, I headed over to the Patek Philippe Museum for lunch. Now, even if watches aren't your thing, trust me, this place is a must-visit. The museum showcases the rich history of one of the world's most renowned watchmakers, and it's designed so beautifully. You'll find yourself wandering through stunning exhibits, and it took me about an hour to see everything. Seriously, the craftsmanship on display is just mind-blowing. By this point I was getting hungry, so I decided to go to one of the most famous restaurants in the city. Le Chateaubriand is a Michelin star restaurant located in a beautiful building in the heart of the city. I shared a bottle of wine with a friend and we had an incredible meal together. The service was excellent and the atmosphere was perfect. Last but not least, I went to the United Nations European headquarters. This is one of the most important sites in Geneva and a must-see for any visitor. Although you cannot enter the building itself, you can walk around the beautiful gardens. And that's a wrap. Those are just a few of the things I did in Geneva. Of course, there are many other things to do in the city, but I think you get the idea. Overall, I had an incredible time in Geneva. It is truly a special place and I hope you get the chance to visit. If you liked the video, I'd totally appreciate a thumbs up. And don't forget to drop your thoughts about Switzerland in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think and what you want to see next time. So catch you later.